Holiday. My name is Moxes. It's the week 20 of the EPL, of the Premiership, and then we'll be doing the prediction today, man. I think we're going to have one of the most, if not the most wonderful derby of the season. It's Manchester United against Man City, one of the biggest derby in the world, and also it will be Tottenham against Arsenal, one of the biggest derby in the world today. So, and I think it's going to define the season for quite a lot of the teams. If Manchester United win, it's going to define how the season will be. And it's going to define the season of Man City too. And I think Tottenham against Arsenal will also define how Arsenal's seasons will be. So let's get straight to the point. The first game will be Aston Villa against Leeds United. So they are both struggling. Aston Villa are basically struggling. But I think they're beginning to pick up with their new coach. Leeds United with their attacking speed, with their players coming back. And I think this is going to be a difficult one today. But I'm going for a draw. I think they're going to play draw. I think they're going to play less than. They're going to play over 2.5, but I see them playing a draw. Let's say 2-2. All right. The next one is on Saturday, and it's the biggest derby in the world. Is Manchester United against Man City. The last time this team met at Etihad, Man City won that game 6-3, courtesy of Haaland and Foden. But this is going to be a different one now because Manchester United have gotten their rhythm. They're playing absolutely very well. Casemiro is defining the midfield for Manchester United. Their defense are doing absolutely very well. Man City just lost their game against Southampton. And I think if they come with that rhythm, Manchester United will win the game. But anyway, that was a League Cup. That was a Carabao Cup. And Pep Guardiola said one thing, that he's coming into this game with a different tactic, with something ridiculous. So you should be expecting something different from Pep Guardiola. But I believe in Ten Hag, I believe in his tactics, and I believe in his dynamic. I believe Manchester United are going to play something different this time around, not like the way they played last time. And I think for the very first time in a very long time, I think Manchester United may just come ahead of this one. I think they will. And I think it's going to defend quite a lot of teams. Because if Manchester United win, they will be 1 point away from Manchester City. They will be 6 points away from Arsenal, and they'll be in the top 3 position before Newcastle play. So it's going to be a difficult one for Manchester United. If Rashford is continuing with his form, Anthony with an outstanding goal last week, I think Manchester United will win this one. My mind is telling me that Manchester United will win this one, so I'm going for a 2-0 win against Man City. Next one is Brighton against Liverpool. Ooh, it's a tough one, man. Brighton are such an outstanding team. Liverpool are now getting their rhythm right. Their last FA Cup, they played a 2-2 against Wolverhampton. So this is going to be a very, very difficult one for Liverpool, to be candid. I don't know, man. I feel like Liverpool will win this one. Because I think Liverpool are beginning to get their rhythm back. I think Liverpool will win this one, so I'm going for a 2-1 win for Liverpool. The next one is Everton against Southampton. It's the 20th position against the 18th position. Everton in an awful form, Southampton in an awful form too. But I think this is going to be a difficult one too. I'm going for a draw. I'm going for a draw, to be candid. Southampton, the way they played last week against Man City, if they come with the same rhythm, despite it's going to be played in Goodison Park, I think they could get a point from Goodison Park, to be candid. So I'm going for a 0-0 draw for Everton against Southampton. Next one is Nottingham Forest against Leicester. Nottingham Forest won their semi-final in the Carabao Cup. It's called their quarter-final in the Carabao Cup. They're playing against Manchester United in the semi-final. Leicester lost against Newcastle. Sometimes you can't just give up on Nottingham Forest, for God's sake. They are 15th on the table. Leicester are 13th on the table. I don't know. I don't know why my mind is telling me to give it to Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest will win this one. And I think if they win, Brendan Rodgers will lose his job. So I'm going for a Nottingham win, 1-0. Yeah, that's what they do against big boys. The next one is Wolverhampton versus West Ham United. Wolverhampton are such a defining team. West Ham United are finding their rhythm. David Moyes, I don't know what's wrong with him now, but I think he's finding it absolutely very, very difficult with West Ham presently now. So let me just jump into this one. I think they're going to play under 2.5, and I think they're going to draw this game. Yep. Oh, the next one is Brentford against Bournemouth. Brentford is such an outstanding form. Brentford remain the only team below top 6 that won all the top 4s. Ridiculous. So it's going to be difficult for Bournemouth, to be candid. Bournemouth are such a defensive team. Brentford are such an attacking team. So I'm going for a Brentford win. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Brentford. All right, let's go for a Sunday game. It's Chelsea against Crystal Palace, man. I don't know what's wrong with Chelsea. Chelsea are finding it absolutely very, very difficult now. Even with the signing of Joe Felix. Joe Felix got a red card, for God's sake, in his first game. So when it's bad for you, it's absolutely bad for you. And I think this is the worst Chelsea team I've seen in a very, very long time. This is the worst pair they've been in a very, very long time. I've said it before. I don't think Chelsea will finish in top 6. That's it. And I think it's still going to be difficult for them now because Joe Felix will not be in. They still have a lot of players that are injured, and Graham Potter is not even getting things right. Crystal Palace are just an attacking team. They're such an entertaining team. So I don't know, man. I watched their game against Fulham. Joe Felix was the only thing positive in that team, to be candid. And now Joe Felix will not be playing in their next game against Crystal Palace. So I think Crystal Palace may just get a draw in this one, to be candid. So because it's Stamford Bridge and because they're going to fight for their life, I think they're going to get a draw in this one. I think it's going to end up in a draw. But Chelsea are in such an awful situation now that even if you don't like Chelsea, you begin to pity them, right? But it is what it is. But I don't see them finishing in top 6. But I think Chelsea are such a good team that they could pick up from any time. And I see them picking up next season with the right players, with the right coach. I don't know if I should say Graham Potter should be out now, because I've watched Graham Potter in Brighton, and he did absolutely very well in Brighton. The way they played in Brighton was outstandingly well. So I'm not going to be bad of those people that will say Graham Potter should leave the club presently, but I think he needed time. But I've said it, man, the worst thing that happened to Chelsea was Chelsea leaving Tuchel. Tuchel is the second best thing that happened to Chelsea since Jose Mourinho first tenure. So I don't see them winning this one, to be candid. I see them playing a draw. All right, the next one is Newcastle against Fulham. I think these are the two most informed in Premiership, to be candid. Newcastle are in 3rd position. Fulham are in 7th position, and they are doing absolutely well. Fulham won their last game against Chelsea. Newcastle United won their game against Leicester United in the Carabao Cup. Man, this is going to be a tough one, but I don't know. I feel like Newcastle will still win this one because they are going to play it in St. James Stadium. So I'm giving it for Newcastle. I think Newcastle will win this one, but I think they're going to play over 2.5. So I'm going for a 2-1 win for Newcastle. So the next game and the last game of the weekend is Tottenham against Arsenal. Ooh. I think every Arsenal fans love this one, and I think they really want to win Tottenham by all means. I think Tottenham are not the Tottenham that we used to know, to be candid. If it was the Tottenham of last season or 2 seasons ago, I think they'll win Arsenal. And if it's the Arsenal of 2 seasons ago, I think Arsenal will lose this game. But this present Arsenal are such an outstanding team to play against. I don't know. I think Arsenal will win this one, to be candid. I'm going for an Arsenal win 2-1.